But what we're teaching is all of those life skills that will stand these students in good stead for the rest of their lives.
Today we're going to speak to Dr. Jay Burton. Dr. Burton is head of our drama department, and he's going to speak to us about Summer Children's Theater. Welcome to the podcast.
Okay, never having done one, I'll follow your lead.
Okay, so you've had 3 shows this year as part of the drama season so far.
Yes.
You have 2 coming up in the summer for Summer Children's Theater. How do you feel about finally being able to return to the stage?
It's fantastic, John.
Right?
Yes. No, we did the online thing, and that was fairly successful. We learned a lot, but it's not the same as doing live theater.
No.
So we're thrilled to be back.
I mean, the challenges are kind of obvious, because drama feeds off of having an audience to communicate with in their shows. Did you get any of that kind of semblance with the online productions? I mean,
very little. It was more of an experiment for the students, for the actors, and it was an experiment for us too, to see what we could do and how we could do it, and could we actually put on a show that way. And I think we were fairly successful.
Okay. Did you kind of feel like you learned anything from it? Like, is there anything that you were able to kind of take from it that you're going to use in the future at all, or not?
I don't know. If we get into that situation again, at least we'll know what we're doing.
Another variant takes off, and
exactly.
Go back into the.
I hope we don't have to do that, but we learned quite a lot. We learned that we are far more flexible than we thought we were. And that the students respond well, and they understood the difference between screen work and live work, and it was successful.
So you came to this year, you had 3 shows, and you typically have 3 shows. You have one in the fall, then you have a Christmas production or a holiday production, and then a spring musical.
Correct.
So you've done those 3. Kind of, how do you feel like that they were?
I think that, we consider this a build back year. I mean, audiences got used to not coming to the theater. And our first show was fairly well attended. The Christmas show was very well attended, as was the musical. So
I heard a lot of people that loved the Patsy Cline.
It was a good show.
Yes, and I think they kept talking about Nevaeh's performance.
Nevaeh's performance was outstanding. She looked like her. She sounded like her.
Did she sing her entire catalog pretty much? I mean, they said
almost. There were 27 numbers.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
We had her on the show actually not too long ago. She was here was speaking with Kevin about the choir being able to return to doing concerts and like that. So I knew when she got cast for that role, I thought, well, she's going to do an amazing job.
She did do an amazing job.
So tell me a little bit about the Summer Children's Theater and sort of kind of, I know this is a tradition. We've been doing it for 35 years?
37. This is our 37th. We
37th
skipped a year because of the pandemic, of course. So this is actually our 38th year, but our 37th consecutive Children's Summer Theater Festival.
Okay. So what else productions this year? What are you going to do?
This year we've got The Adventures of Peter Cottontail and Alice in Wonderland.
How do you settle on which ones you're going to do?
We read. we estimate how many kids are going to come out and be interested in participating, and we look for shows with appeal to our audience, which is also young people. And so we just read, and then we flip a coin and say, yeah, we'll do these 2.
What are the age groups that you typically kind of aim for with the Summer Children's Theater?
Well, for those on stage, between 6 and 17. For the audience, any age will do. I mean, from 3 to 93. We try to make everything really appealing for everybody.
So when you have the children participate, what all do they? I know they don't just do stuff on the stage. I know that they also do sort of some of the behind-the-scenes work. You have a young student that you want to participate. What are some of the things they could do?
Well, the older students, that I would say, 13 and up, we definitely have possibilities for backstage. They can be on the crew. They can run lights. They can run props. They can help build props. They can help. Particularly the older ones can help build sets. There's always painting to do. So there are many, many activities helping with costumes and also ushering. So lots that people can do.
What's the audition dates?
Audition dates are May 10 and 11, 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
And people only have to come to one of those. We spread it over 2 days to make it a little more convenient for.
And that's for both shows. Each audition is for both shows.
Those are auditions for both shows. That's correct.
Okay. So what is the time commitment for the young students who get involved with these?
The time commitment is 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. We usually run 6:30 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes we go over by 10 minutes, but usually it's 6:30 to 9. Some evenings it's earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Parents are invited to stay and watch or sit around in the green room or drop off and come back.
Tell me what it is you think that students can get from this. I mean, other than the experience of being on stage.
Well,
what is it that you hope students get out of it when they participate in this?
The experience of being on stage is a lot. But what any student who works on one of these shows gets out of it, I hope, is learning about teamwork, learning about creativity, building self-confidence, building imagination, and it gives them something to do in the summer.
Nice summer activity.
Well, right now, the Summer Children's Theater is the big thing that we're doing. We're already in the process of our director, our designer, DC Stell, is already working on the sets for the show, thinking about costumes, we're thinking about staging. So that's really where our minds are at the moment.
Are you kind of glad, because I know this is the first time you've worked with the children in quite a while, are you kind of glad to, I know you're ecstatic to have your students back. Are you kind of happy to kind of get back to this and work with the young people?
Oh, yeah. No, working with the young people is always a treat. They always come up with something new and different and wonderful, and it takes my mind off the day-to-day,
Their perspectives are always different, too.
Yes, they are.
That's when I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, and they can definitely give you a different perspective on things.
Oh, yes, they can.
Do you allow them to ad lib or anything like that?
We try not to. We try not to because we never know what they're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing is learning the discipline of working on a stage and having to do it.
Following the production. And executing basically whatever it is you plan for and set out.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any of these students? I think you have. You've had some of these students who work in the Summer Children's Theater that y'all later on will adopt in your shows in the following semester.
Oh, yes. Yes, we've had a number of students who start in children's theater and then will come back and come to college here, or even not come to college here but be in shows. And occasionally we'll have one who graduates and then comes back. They
just enjoy the stage that much.
Well, the woman who painted some of Patsy Cline is between jobs at the moment, so she came back to paint for us, even though she's not only our graduate, but a graduate of 2 other programs, and is a professional scene painter. So that's why the sets look so good.
I was going to say, too, a lot of people, when you say theater or drama, they think immediately just about, like, performance.
Right.
They don't think about all of the work that has to go on, backstage. I remember Nick Offerman, the guy from Parks and Recreation, but he had said that that's how he made his living for the longest time, was doing backstage painting and production and stuff like that, until he finally kind of got noticed for his acting abilities. But that was kind of how he paid his bills, was doing a lot of the backstage work. And that's kind of what I wanted to ask you a little bit, is kind of you were talking about the young students getting the benefits of, like, kind of learning a production, setting a plan, following through on the execution. Why do you think those skills are valuable, I guess, for somebody to learn at that age?
I think they're valuable for anybody at any age to learn.
Well, that's true.
Because they make that person adaptable. They make that person able to think on his or her feet. Again, I mentioned teamwork before, but they learn to be part of a team. And those skills are valuable no matter what field you happen to go into. We find that employers are looking for people who can think on their feet, who can think out of the box, who can work as part of a team. So what we are teaching, and we hide the fact in the summer that we're teaching at all, but what we're teaching is all of those life skills that will stand these students in good stead for the rest of their lives.
You had, and speaking of the production design set, you had a young lady that came by that gave a seminar for some of your students.
Shannon Komlowski?
Yes.
Yes.
So how did it kind of, did your students kind of enjoy being able to talk to somebody who kind of did that?
Yes. because we are in Alvin. Even though we're close to Houston, we still don't get a chance to talk with professionals a lot. So when we bring somebody in, it really gives them an opportunity to find out what it's going to be like in the real world. And Shannon's a good example of that. We've had her master class. We've had master classes in stage combat, in acting. So we try to do one a year. We don't always succeed,
Right.
but we try at least to do one a year. Well, come audition.
Yeah. Me? I'm not going to audition.
No, but your kids could. If there are people in those ages, 6 to 17, who are interested, please come audition. And if you don't want to be on the stage, come fill out a tech form and help us backstage. And then, of course, in June and July, when the shows are, come see the shows. They can go online to the college website, look under drama, or let me see if I can remember, 281-756-3606. That's the box office, and the box office can then answer any questions regarding auditions or the shows.
All right. Well, thank you for coming to talk to us today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thanks for listening. I'm John Tompkins. To read about these stories and more, visit alvincollege.edu.